Did everyone get a chance to take the quiz? Gavin, were you able to do it? Take that math quiz? Katie and Reese, I don't know if you guys, you did? Awesome. Okay, that makes me so happy. But so what I'm going to show you guys is an example of, yes, ma'am. Thank you for reminding me. I need that. I'm going to show you an example of what the test might look like and what the answers would be, because there were some of us that were a little confused, and Mrs. Harrison and I thought it was probably the format of the test that we're not used to, because boy, when we're in class, it seems like everybody really is getting this. So let's look at the example of the quiz we took yesterday. And we had one like this. Now you might not have had this exact problem because they changed. If we saw 5 times 3, what would we have written in that? Go ahead and write it on your board real quick and hold it up. 5 times 3, what would we write? Bird, what do you think? She says 15. If you agree, give a thumbs up. If you disagree, let's talk about it. So when I see a factor of 5, I know I'm going to count by 5. So I take my 3 fingers and I count by 5s, right? 5, 10, 15. You should have gotten 15. So I would type in 15. Okay, the next one is division. We are still getting used to that. The best way I can tell you to figure out division, everybody, is to think about if I have the dividend of 16 and it's divided by the divisor of 2. What could I do, Sawyer? Okay, if you are at home, what Sawyer is saying is what times 2 equals 16. He wants to use the inverse operation. He wants to use his fact families to help him. So if you know it, write it on your board. If you don't know what times 2 equals 16, here's another way of figuring it out. 16 divided by 2. How many 2's are in 16? Watch what I'm going to do. Hold up your board at home if you already know the answer. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. You should have gotten 8. And then when you think about what Sawyer was saying, 8 times 2 is 16. 2 8s. 8 plus 8 is 16. 8 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That's exactly what I wanted you to say, Sawyer. Nice job. All right, let's try the next one. Now, this one was confusing to a lot of you, but it shouldn't be. This is showing commutative property. It is just saying, if I know what 9 times 5 is, then I know what 5 times what is. You're just showing that you can switch the factors. So whatever 9 times 5 is, it's equal to 5 times 9. That is all you had to do. Swap those factors because they're equal. It's called commutative property. Yes, Mrs. Harrison. Okay. Please don't apologize. So real quick, I'm going to stop sharing just for a minute so I can help Mrs. Harrison. I can find her. Lori Harrison, there you are. Make co-host. Thank you. There you go. All right, so now we're back. Let's look at the next one. You should have seen a problem like this. This confused many of us. And I think it's not that you didn't know it. What's so confusing is how they made you put the answer in. It says Andy uses 4 bananas in each of 2 loaves of banana bread he is baking. Enter a multiplication expression to represent the total number of bananas Andy uses. So you guys, a multiplication expression is just an equation. It's just an equation. What times what? So most of you knew you wanted to say 4 bananas. Let's see if I can, there we go. 4 bananas times 2, or 2 times 4, right? Because those are your 2 factors. We wanted to know the total. If we have 4 bananas and 2 loaves, I'm multiplying to find the total. I'm not dividing because it even told me I'm multiplying. So we have a 4 and we have a 2. But this is what happened when I was coming around, people were confused. They might have said 4 and then came here and wanted to put a 2 in, but there's no 2. Raise your hand if that happened to you and you were frustrated. Yeah, a lot of us that happened to here. What did we have to do, Marin?
You had to put the 4, or I mean the 2 in that one.
You had to put the 2 here and then the 4 there. Isn't that tricky?
Yes.
Boy, it stinks, but we have to know how to take a test sometimes. There are little strategies. You would hope that they're just testing our knowledge. But even my son took the SAT today, and Mrs. Harrison's daughter did as well. They're seniors, and that's the test you take to get into college. And as he was studying, he said to me last night, he said, it's so crazy that we have to learn tricks. Why can't we just do our best on the test and they test our knowledge? He said, but it's almost like they're testing our tricks, our ability to figure out how to answer the questions. And really, he had a good point. And I told him this story about yesterday. I said, well, guess what? 3rd graders have to do it too. We have to understand the little tricks. So hopefully you were able to figure that out. Now I get to tell you for next time. All right, so that one was tricky. This one was also a little tricky. I think that some of us didn't realize, Charlie Carr, this is called a fact family. Do you remember, Charlie, when we moved our numbers around? We all had, the kids in class had the posters. You guys had the smart board and we moved all the numbers. This is a fact family. Guess what the numbers are? 8, 2, and 4. All you had to do was say 8 divided by 2 is 4, because look, 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 4 2s in 8. If you know 8 divided by 2 is 4, you know 8 divided by 4 is 2. If you know 8 divided by 4 is 2, you know 4 times 2 is 8. And if you don't know that, you could count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8. You have the tools right here to figure it out. How many 4s are in 8? 4, 8. There's only 2. And do you see that it's all related? We use the same numbers in each equation. So if that one was tricky for you, I hope you understand it now. I might have some of you retest this just because I think I want to make sure it wasn't the test that was holding you up, and that give you a chance to show it another way. So I'll be talking to some of you about that. Yes, Henry, you can unmute.
You can also cheat by looking at the under thing, because when it says 2 and you're trying to find the answer, you can just look underneath it and there's going to be a 4.
Right, because they're related, right? These are inverse operations. It's a fact family. So it's not cheating. That's being smart. That's using your math knowledge. Thank you for sharing. All right, so we're going to say goodbye to the quiz. I hope you felt pretty good about it yesterday. Mrs. Harrison and I will look over your scores, and we will see what we need to work on. Today, we get to work on something different. We are going to talk about our tens. Be thinking right now, what comes in tens? Be thinking about that while I get this ready for us. I think this is where we want to be. So this is in your Google Classroom if you need it. All right, so our learning target today is identify patterns in tens, count bys, and multiplications, and relate multiplication and division. We've done this lesson with 2s and 5s. Now we're going to look at doing it with 10s. Why? We want to solve real world math problems that involve multiplying and dividing with 10s. Lots of things come in 10s. Your success criteria, we're going to circle groups of 10 on our math board. We're going to write equations for multiplication and division. We're going to, I'm going to take that off. We're not going to write addition equations. I'll talk about those. We're going to look for patterns, and we're going to use our fingers to multiply by 10. Sounds pretty easy, right? You've been counting by 10 since kindergarten. You guys got this. Before we do that, I want a quick review. Let's go through and look at we kind of reviewed our 5s before, but let's do it together. Ready? 1 times 5 is 2 times 5, 3 times 5, 4 times 5, 5 times 5, 6 times 5, 7 times 5, 8 times 5, 9 times 5, and 10 times 5. 50, you can't see it. On your board, write down what the products for our count bys ends in. It ends in either a blank or a blank. What do all the products end in? Either a blank or a blank. Write it down and hold it up. If you are counting by or multiplying 5s, what does it end in? What is in the ones place? I'm just going to experiment to see if it works. So we're looking here. Oh my goodness.
It works.
I know. Somebody loves me. I have an angel. All right, can somebody at home unmute? Mrs. Harrison, do you see anyone who can tell me? Oh, I see. You've got it. You've got it. Go ahead. Who is it? Katie. Katie, can you unmute and tell me what do they all end in?
There and either a 0 or a 5.
Either a 0 or a 5. Good job. You're absolutely right. All right, let's look at our 2s. You guys ready? Let's do them. Let's go horizontal this time. 2 times 1 is 2 times 2. 2 times 3. 2 times 4. 2 times 5. 2 times 6. 2 times 7. 2 times 8. And 2 times 9. 2 times 10 would be 20. All right, we know something about our count bys. They're all what kind of numbers? Write it on your board. All the count bys are products for the 2s. The 2, the 4, the 6, the 8, the 10, the 12, the 14, 16, 18, 20 are all what kind of numbers? Hold it up on the board. Max, what did you get? They're all what kind of numbers? They're all even, Steven. They can be broken into 2 equal groups. They're even. Excellent. Thank you for sharing. All right, so now today we are going to be looking at 10s. Yeah, go ahead. So, what comes in 10s? That's what I wanted you to ponder or think about or wonder. What things come in 10s? Write it in the chat. Write it on your board. Hold it up. What are you thinking? Okay, so on our multiplication table in the classroom, it has 10 in it. Going down. Yeah, so on our multiplication table we were just looking at, there are 10 rectangles going down. What else comes in 10s? Yeah, Haley. A 10 pack of anything, right? It could be Clark's wipes. Wouldn't that be nice? What else, Renee? Fingers come in 10s. Sunny. I'm sorry? Oh, dimes are 10. I didn't even think of that. I wish I would have thought of that and put it on my board. Another one, Finn.
A 10-pack of soda.
You could get a 10-pack of soda possibly. Just Haley Calendar, can you unmute and tell us what comes in tens?
Toes.
Coats?
Toes. On your feet.
Toes. Toes. Okay, I got it. Toes come in tens. Good job. All right, look, Haley, I thought of that too. Markers, your fingers. You can get candy in packs of 10. $10 bill. You could have 10. So good job. All right. Get out your boards. We are going to circle groups of 10 today. 10 fingers for home row, right. So get your markers. Let's go ahead and circle our first. That's
Well,
fine.
now it's not working.
I know. Because, you know, my angel flew away.
When your math angel has
I guess so. Let's see if this works. And if I go up to my smarting. Let's see. All right. Let's circle our first group of 10. So we know, and we're going to write our equation up here. 10 equals 1 times 10. Let's go ahead and get started. We're looking at our count by for 10 today. Looking for equal groups. They have to be equal, right? You want to do not just one, you want to do the whole 10. There you go. I bet you guys can predict what's coming next.
I know.
I think Dave knows. All right, Ellie, what are you going to do next? Ellie said I'm going to circle 10 more. What do I land on? Now I've got 20, which is 2 groups of 10 or 2 times 10. Okay, so that's enough points what we want. So it should be like I have it here. You have your math board, Charlie? I think it's right there behind you and your tablet. There you go, sir. Get a dry erase marker on the top. All right, let's keep going. The next group of 10 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I land on 30, which is 3 groups of 10.
Now the numbers are the right way. You see how she circled it?
Like how you guys are writing so neat. Some of you are going ahead. I am fine with you going ahead. If you want to go ahead, make sure you stop at 100. Okay, but you're welcome to go ahead. Stop at 100. It is okay if you go ahead. That makes me so happy. It makes me realize you're getting the patterns. You're understanding what comes in 10. All right, Henrik, after 30, what am I going to have? 40, which is 4 groups of 10. Lucas, my next group, what's it going to be? 50, 5 groups of 10. Lyric, after 50, counting by 10s, what's next? It has to be your other board. It's in your cubby, Charlie. 60, which is 6 groups of 10. Yes, Serne. Excellent. She's ready for my next 10. 70. 7 groups of 10. And I'm going to move my little Zoom friends.
Hey, Miss Abby, those are groups of 5.
These are the tens. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So 1, 3. I showed one time, but I should not. Nice. All right, now get out your math spiral, write down the patterns you see. If you have finished, start writing down in your math spiral the patterns that you see. What patterns do you notice? I have to write the vocabulary up there for you. I want you to use that good vocabulary, products and factors. So I'm going to write that for you. Here are your products. And here are your factors. The two numbers you are multiplying are your factors. The answers are your products. So we didn't quite finish. You should have gone down to 80, 90, and 100. Yes? How do we do, Mrs. Harrison? Pretty good. I'm trying to. Okay. How you doing, August? You doing okay? Wow, looks great, Sawyer. Feel good? Okay, get out your math spiral like Mr. Paxton and follow directions so nicely. Oh, I love how Lena is writing down the patterns she noticed. Yes. I think you should come sit up here then, okay, buddy? Because I know you had more written and then you erased it. Good job, Ben. Thank you. Once you have it done, start writing down in your math spiral the patterns. Here, I'll get it to you.
What page?
Just a blank page in there. You see the pattern? What's going to be next? Oh, you did it backwards. Hold on. I started doing it backwards too. It goes 10 equals 1 times 10. 20 equals. That's what happened. Now we got it. 40 equals. 50 equals. 60 equals. 70 equals. 80 equals. 90 equals. And 100 equals. Okay, now get your math spiral. Tell me what patterns you notice. Right, but now in here, you're writing down the patterns. You're going to have to use okay, so that means I'm writing down the patterns. What do you see? All right, next one more patterns. You find more than one. Oh, well, why don't you just wait right now, Miss Abby, and do the writing, and then we'll work, because we're not supposed to erase it anyway.
I went all the way to the 100.
You are already late here, my friend.
I know.
All right, so let's finish your board.
I already found
All right, I'm going to start calling on some people to share what they noticed. I want you to write down in your spiral things that we noticed. So I'm going to just remind you of some things we said last time with our twos. That's how she wants to go. That's how she wants you to do. You're a good pattern. All right. Okay, so last time we did our twos, this is what we noticed. When we did our twos, we said the first factor counts by ones. That was Madison and Robert. We noticed that the products counted by twos. That was Paxton and Jensen. We noticed the second factor is always 2. That was Ellie. And then we said that the digit in the ones place had a pattern, and that was Henry Morgan. It was of 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0. So we've been doing lots of patterns. So today we're going to continue with that. What have we noticed, Serne? The products, can we use our vocabulary? All right, if you're not sure what she said, the products count by tens. Look at this. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. The products count by tens. If you don't have anything written, you can write this one down now. Serne said that. Marin, what else? One of the factors is? Yes. One of the factors is always 10. All right. Anybody at home want to share a pattern? You can raise your hand. You could write it in the chat box. All right, go ahead, Ellie. The second factor, I love the vocabulary you're using. The second factor counts by ones, Haley, can you unmute and share?
The first factor counts by 1.
Okay, yeah, so what the first one? Actually, you're right, it was the first factor. So I should fix that. The first factor, and we'll add Haley to that. Counts by ones. Good thinking, Haley. Sunny Poe. Shh, girls, I can't hear, honey. Go ahead.
From the 2 from the 20, it's a 2 from the 20, I feel just go on that number because if you
I had a hard time hearing that. The 2 from the 20. Here, let's go back to it. I'm going to minimize this for a minute. The 2 from the 20 here. Can you come up and show us, and then maybe I can hear you with all the chatter?
So the 2, from the 2 from the 20, it's
All right, hey guys, did you notice that if you are doing the product, all you're doing is adding a what? All you have to do is add a 0 to the factor. You just add a 0. Is that kind of what you were saying? You just add a 0 to the first factor, and you'll get the answer or the product. You get the product. Good thinking, Sunny. Any other patterns before we move on?
Wow, I have some friends in the audience who have not been writing anything yet.
Oh, okay. We can give them a copy of this. Gabe, you have your writing? It shouldn't be closed. That's what we're doing right now, right? Don't close your work when we're working. Do not shut down the shop till the shop has closed. Anybody else see something that we didn't notice? On your board, you can look at your board. All right, we are gonna go back to our boards. Please do not erase anything. We are gonna now do the inverse operation. What does that mean, Gabe? What is the inverse operation of multiplication? Bing, ding, 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 ding. He said division. Did you say that at home? Division. So now we're gonna skip the addition part. I think you know 2 times 10 is 10 plus 10, right? You know 3 times 10 is 10 plus 10 plus 10. We're gonna move on from that and go right to division. So if I know that 10 equals 1 times 10, we're gonna write this on our board. Then I know 10 divided by, and I wanna do 10, right, first? Yeah, 10 divided by 10 equals 1. We have someone in the waiting room.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, it's okay. We know 20 equals 2 times 10. Then we know 20 divided by 10 equals 2. That's the inverse operation. They undo each other. There are 2 10s in 20. There's 1 10 in 10. If I were to divide up 10 cookies to one person, they'd get 10, right? If I had to divide it up by 10 people, they'd each get 1. If I had to divide 20 cookies by 10 people, they'd each get 2, because I'd be dividing them up. All right, if 30 equals 3 times 10, 30 divided by 10 equals what? 3. Who thinks they can do the next one for me? Elena, what is it? If 40 equals 4 times 10, then 40 divided by 10 equals 4. Thank you, Josh. I hope you're seeing a pattern. So we know 50 equals 5 times 10. Then 50 divided by 10 equals 5. All right, go ahead, my dear Madison. If 60 equals 6 times 10. We're going to do patterns again in a minute, so she can do it then.
Excellent.
Wow, I see some of you gone ahead. Eleanor's got it figured out. Sawyer, do you think you know the next one? Awesome, Mr. Jensen. How about you, Henry? Can you do the next one? If 80 equals 8 times 10, then very good. Cooper, can you do the next one? If 90 equals 9 times 10, if 90 equals 9 times 10, then 90. Very good. And last but not least, Lucas, if 100 equals 10 times 10, then? All right. Boy, you guys did great.
Can you ask the friends at home to show me what they've got?
Yes.
Couple friends in the group.
All right, hold up your board. Show us what you got. We want to see your division.
Vision.
Let's see your division. Haley, Henry, Reese, we're looking for the division facts. Now, as we look for patterns, here's what I want you to think about. This word for this number is your, can you remember? I heard it. I'm so proud of you. Good job, dividend. The number that you divide into that dividend is your divisor. And then the answers to division problems are called your quotient. So when you talk about the patterns you notice, Abby, I want you to use those words. If you are finished, look at your board, get your math spiral out. Don't close it, open it up. Write down the patterns you notice with the division and multiplication. You can do them as how they're related. You can do them how they're written, whatever you want to do. Any patterns you notice. What are they? Marin? What do you notice? Okay, so that was from the last one. What do you notice about the division and maybe how it's related to the multiplication? The dividend is always 10, right? There, we've got it. So if you didn't hear what she said, I'm going to share my screen. She says the dividend is always 10. I love that vocabulary. Thank you, Marin. Ellie.
It's like the opposite of times because it used to be 10, like 1 times 10, and now it's 10 divided by 10 equals 1.
Okay. It is the opposite of the multiplication. Inverse operation, Finn. Boy, good vocabulary.
I know they're doing food play. I see some good vocabulary going on.
Abby.
I noticed that the division went through 1 through 10.
Okay, so can we look at maybe the numbers you're looking at? You mean the quotient?
Yeah, it went from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It went through.
Okay, so if you didn't hear that, Abby said that the quotient, which is the answer to a division problem, counts by ones all the way to 10. I'll write that down. The quotient counts from 1 to 10. You have the same initials as my kids, Avery Aubin and Aaliyah Aubin, AA. That's funny. Yes, Haley.
I noticed that the beginning of it counts from 10.
So the dividend counts by tens. I like that vocabulary. The dividend is counting by tens. Proud of you, Haley. Good job. Okay. So at home, I hope you have something written. I'd love for you to hold up what you wrote in your math spiral for Mrs. Harrison and I to see. You don't have to have all of these, but we hope you have a couple, right? You should have something. And we're practicing our capitalization and punctuation as we go, and our subjects and predicates. If you did not notice, here's just a little reminder. The products from the multiplication problems become the dividend. Did you guys see that? The products become the dividend. I'm going to show you, sorry. Here are your products. All of these are now, when you do the inverse operation, are now your dividend. Your first factor is now your quotient. Your second factor is now your divisor. That's just showing you the families again, how they are related. Serne, I see you have something to share. For the patterns? Did you need to see that? Okay. Show me if you are ready to move on, giving me a thumbs up if you have gotten something written for your patterns If you're in the middle, you need another minute to finish. If your thumb is down, you're like, what? All right, if your thumb is up, let's practice our count bys while the rest of you finish your patterns. Using your fingers, it's the same thing as our 5s and our 2s. I can say 1 times 5 is, or not 5s, 10s today. That's our learning target. 1 times 10 is 10. 2 times 10. 3 times 10. 4 times 10. 5 times 10. 6 times 10. 7 times 10. 8 times 10. 9 times 10. 10 times 10.
100.
All right, now we're going to do it backwards. 90 divided by 10. Write your answer on your board and hold it up if you're done with your patterns. Yeah, you can erase it now. Thank you for asking, because that would be scary if we weren't done with it. You can erase it if you're, done with your patterns, or you don't need it now. My question was 90 divided by 10. What would that equal? Max? 9 divided by 10.
So 90 divided by 10 equals this.
Write it on your board. 10. 50 divided by 10 is? Good job, Clara. Jensen, can you unmute and tell us? 50 divided by 10. How many? On your board. I think we're taking it board 7 by 10. I see Evie, 70 divided by 10. How many 10s are in 70? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. You should have 7. Have my kiddos online. Did you get 7? Gavin, how'd you do? Good. Clara, you're on fire today. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Good work, my dear. All right, let's get out of this for now. We're going to move on to see what's next.
I actually know the way.
So we're going to erase our boards if you haven't already. Don't worry if you didn't get all those patterns written, and we did not expect that. All right, let's go forward, not back. It won't let me go. Hold on, I have to get rid of that.
I feel like it's just to avoid.
I think it's because I had that on. All right. Okay. Go ahead, guys. Turn to page 28 in your math workbook. I have been wanting to do this all week because it keeps popping up on your warm-ups, and I didn't have time to go through it. So how many of you have seen this on Think Central? Oh yeah, we worked on this in my homeroom yesterday. It did not make people happy. So I'm gonna explain a pictograph to you, and there's one really important piece of information you need to know about a pictograph. That is the key. Everybody say with me, the key. The key. So if you get to page 28, everybody's gonna circle the key on this pictograph. I will show you what that is. Are you on board?
Oh, I know.
What is the deadline tomorrow? I'm gonna watch with you.
All right.
I think I'm having.
Everybody circle this, and then I want you to circle this number.
Okay, thank you.
You can in a minute, I'll go through it. I love it, Paxton did such a good job following directions.
What's the page again?
Page 28. bottom of page 28. Gavin, can you, hold on one sec. Hey, voices off for a moment. Gavin, will you unmute and tell me what that says at the bottom of that pictograph?
How many more peach banana blast drinks were sold in the Mango Madness drink?
Okay, but what did we circle? What does that say? Each smoothie stands for what?
2 drinks.
2 drinks. So what is so confusing about this, Katie? It is that we thought, many people thought that you would count each picture as 1. But Josh, what do we have to count them by? You got to count them by 2. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to just count the smoothies for each flavor, okay? And I want you to write it next to it. Do this with me, everybody. Here, hold on. We're going to do it together. Ready? Let's count how many smoothies, the strawberry sensation, they sold at the smoothie shop. 2, 4, 6. So a total of 6. Now let's count the peach banana blast. Ready? Charlie B, count with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Uh-oh. That's only half of a smoothie. We count that as +1.
Yeah, that's what
So
I
now we have 15.
That's what I did.
Yep. Good job. All right, how many Mango Madness? 2, 4. So a total of 4. How about Citrus Surprise? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now we can do the math. So if you did not write that, go ahead and write that on your smoothie shop pictograph. So now we know we have 6 strawberry sensations that were sold, 15 peach banana blast, 4 mango madness, and 10 citrus surprise. How many peach banana blast drinks were sold? Go ahead and write your answer. How many peach banana blast drinks were sold? When you know the answer, give me a thumbs up. Charlie, how many?
10.
That would be citrus surprise. We're looking for peach banana blast. There's no 11 up here. Peach banana blast. How many peach banana blast? You should have gotten 15. In all, how many strawberry sensation and citrus surprise were sold? So we've got 6 plus, because it says in all, and those are our key words. Citrus, what do I need to add for citrus surprise? 10. Go ahead and solve it. We have those keywords from 2nd grade. Abby, can I see your work? Hey, you need to do it. Write your equations. Cooper, did you get your answer? What should it be? 16. And last but not least, this is the one I've been seeing. I keep seeing this in Think Central. It says, how many more? Oh, what do we know when we hear how many more?
That there is like how much,
And what are we going to do when we hear how many more? No. How we do it every morning on our graph. Every morning. What do you got to do when you hear how many more? Okay, which is a form of subtraction. How many more peach banana blast drinks were sold than mango madness drinks? So if you know you're going to use subtraction because it says how many more, you're comparing them. You're finding the difference. You got to look at your Peach Banana Blast has 15. Mango Madness only has 4. If we added those, listen, Marin, would it make sense if I said there are 19 more Peach Banana Blast drinks than Mango Madness drinks? It can't be because there's only 15, right? So we have to subtract. So you're going to take your 15 for the Peach Banana Blast. We had 15 and subtract our Mango Madness, which was 4. Go ahead and solve that however you solve subtraction problems. I would count backwards on that one. You might want to use what plus 4 equals 15? What do you think you're going to get? Maddie. She says 11. Does anyone agree at home? Anybody agree here? We could check that and say, well, we know 11 plus 4 equals 15 because that's the inverse operation. Addition's the inverse of subtraction. Did you want to add on, Henrik, or do you agree? You agree? I see a lot of thumbs up. All right, that's a pictograph. The one thing I want everyone to write in permanent marker on your brain, when you see a pictograph, you have got to circle the key. Look at what that symbol stands for. Because I have yet to see it. Mrs. Harrison, you correct me if you think I'm wrong. I have yet to see it equal 1 in 3rd grade. It's usually going to be 2 or 5 or 10. So they want you to be counting by our count bys, right? But make sure you check out that key. When I see a pictograph, I will look at the key. What does the symbol stand for? All right, moving along. I'm so glad we got to do that. I hope that when you see those on Think Central, you will not be frustrated now. You will be feeling confident and cool and collected. Cool, calm, and collected. Here we go. All right, I have a quick multiplication song for you. You know I love these songs. So I can skip it and then skip it. Here we go.
You can do it with the best. Baby, I'm for real. I'm not just pretend. You want to open line or go for 5, 10? All you gotta do is put a 0 at the end. 10 times 1 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. 10 times 3 is 30. 10 times 4 is 40. 10 times 5 is 50. 10 times 6 is 60. 10 times 7 is 70. 10 times 8 is 80. 10 times 9 is 90. 10 times 10 is 100. 10 times 11 is 110. 10 times 12 is 120.
Max, you are doing that today?
Somebody keep coming up with a flow. Rock and say you a big tempo. If you know the answer, then let it show. Everybody get ready for a big one. 10 times 1. 10 times 2 is 20. 10 times 3 is 40. 40. 10.
Now it's going to get really hard. Yay, okay, thank you. Okay. Let's do it quick. Thank you. You only made it ring one time. Oh, don't make it ring twice. One time only, right, kids? Oh, we're gonna have to do twice. Oh, Elena, 3 times? Not 3 times. Oh, 1 time should be it. All right, get that thumb ready. Our learning target, I'm gonna go back to it. Tell me how you're feeling about identifying patterns in tens, count bys, and multiplications, and relating multiplication and division. That is what we were working toward today. How are you feeling about your tens, count bys, and finding those patterns? Thinking about everything we did today. If you're in the middle, give me a middle. If you're down, give me down. How do we look, Mrs. Harrison?
I have a couple downs, but mostly ups and a couple sideways.
Okay, we'll be working on this all year, so don't panic. Let's look at our exit ticket. So I had a lot of kiddos not do the exit ticket last time. I need everybody to do it. I will be calling parents to say, hey, so-and-so didn't do her exit ticket. Can you make sure he or she goes and does that? So let's take that work away from Mrs. Aubin and instead watch what you're gonna do. Exit ticket 2, explain in words how you know that a number is a tens count by. Like, how do you know the number 50 is a tens count by, or the number 60 is a tens count by? How do you know? All right, that is what you're gonna do for your exit ticket, and here's where you're gonna find it, remote learners. It says right here, under lesson 1.7, multiply and divide with 10, click on that exit ticket number 2. Don't write it in the comments, write it on this document. Put what you think, how you know 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. How do you know those are tens count bys? How do you know? Okay?
Will you also show them where the math class is?
Oh, yes. Okay. So if you are, should I give our kids get started? You could pass these out. So if you are here, get your pencil ready. You're going to answer the same thing. How do you know that a number is a tens count by? Remote learners, some of you did not do your assignment this morning, so I'm going to show you what you need to do. This morning, you were supposed to take the math timed test. It was under math. We're right here. It's right here, math timed test. We would like you to do this today as well before you sign out for the day. Click on the math time test. It's only 5 minutes, Ben. It's only 5 minutes. You got this. Here are all the directions. Sorry, we're having announcements.
A couple quick reminders. Teachers, turn your radios on and up. So we can call all kids for pickup starting at 3:30. Students going to ACC, you can head on down to ACC after the bell rings. And on Moan Petit, friends, you will just stay in your room until you are called. We have some shout outs today. You want to give a couple shout outs? First one to Mr. Todd, our nice custodian. All his hard work is keeping us. Also, a shout out to Mrs. Harrison for showing Mrs. Snowden a very cool trip with the radio yesterday at Bus Radio. Mrs. Harrison, also, special shout out to Chris Olson.
You can do exit ticket number 2. Number 2.
And smile, even if it is under her mask. We're so grateful for all you do to keep us healthy and happy.
I can't hear. There's
If you
too much.
notice staff or students doing something awesome, please let us know, and we would love
These guys
to
don't have a
start
question.
them. We have a couple
I was letting them do that.
One for Justin
I thought we
Chandler.
should listen
Thank
to
you
that.
for helping a first grade friend get a long distance
You and them, 'cause you're
And
gonna have
Brantley Wambeke,
number two.
thanks for helping a classmate tie her shoes
And
at
if you freeze
recess.
it.
Yeah.
you can take it, then-
Also, we're gonna start doing some birthday announcements. Happy birthday to Kara Davis in 5th grade. Also,
Okay.
yesterday, happy birthday to Mari Bong in kindergarten.
Surname, what you need?
Brown. And we hope you have a good day. Thanks to you all for great birthday.
Can you help her? I can't. Okay, the remote learners, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna click on the Web Math Minute. You ready, Ben? It's under Math Time Test. You have to go, my kids didn't, do they have to sign in first, right, Mrs. Harrison? You're gonna sign in, and this is WJ. I would do Ben. Did you just do Ben or Benjamin?
Just a bit.
Ben B, right? That would be your past username. So it's your first name plus the first initial of your last name. And then it is WJES 333. Sorry, that's in the directions on your assignment. Then you would click I'm not a robot. You log in. Oh, it says invalid. Sign in attempt. Maybe it's not Ben. Do you know there?
Okay, I'll look up.
Sorry, Ben, that's not what it is. I don't know what it is. Hold on. Maybe she did Benjamin. Let's try that. No, it's not letting me do it. Hold on. Maybe it's because I am not you. When you are done with your exit ticket, you can put it in the classwork basket.
It says WJ Ben D.
Okay, it should be WJ Ben B. And then the password, am I wrong on that?
Nope.
It's in the directions, kids. So you're gonna put this in WJES 1, 2, 3. I mean 333.
Number is a 10 half by, like 50. How would you know?
Yay! That time it works. I guess you gotta do it 3 times. Then you go to online. You make sure multiplication and division are clicked. Your minimum is 0, your maximum is 10. You're practicing your 5s. You get 40 questions and you get 5 minutes. Then you click start. I don't want to start it because then I'd be doing Ben's test. And I don't want to do your test. So we're going to do this all year. We'll get so good at this. But for most of you did not do it this morning, and I understand why. It's a hard thing to remember. But the directions are written in your Google Classroom under Math Test, Time Test in Math. I'll show you again where that is. It's right here. There are all the directions, and it's under Math Time Test right here. And second graders, I'm supposed to meet with your teachers today, Mrs. Trujillo, to show her how to do it so I can help you. Or they can help you. All right. Any questions, Mrs. Bowers?
Are we supposed to do this every morning then?
Guys, I have a question. If you could turn your voice off real quick. One more time, Mrs. Bowers.
Do we do it every morning?
It will be posted. We're only going to do it on Wednesdays and Fridays, right, Mrs. Harrison? Only 2 times a week. And it should only take 5 minutes once you're logged in.
Okay.
I'll put it in the parent email again, too. Yes, Ben?
Can we get started? Can I just push start?
Yes. Okay, any other questions? Everybody good? So remote learners, you don't need to do Think Central. Just work on your exit ticket and your time test, okay? Don't worry about Think Central at all. All right, thanks, Robert, for the thumbs up. All right, kiddos, anybody else have a question? We're good to go then. See you later.